Are you still Team Trump?
No. Epstein? Get out of here. That was it. That was like goodbye. I do not go halfway with defending pedophiles. Goodbye. Goodbye.
So how would you define yourself? Because now I'm completely disenfranchised. I cannot say myself I'm disenfranchised.
I'm disenfranchised.
So we can see that once the Epstein files were released, those disturbing rituals were actually true, as Candace confirms. People are still giving over sacrifices to the demon Moloch that the Bible mentions. This is truly disturbing, and who knows what else is going on that isn't broadcasted to the world. As more information was coming out, it only confirmed that Jeffrey had a birthing ranch where victims were having babies, and where do you think those babies were going? To be sacrificed to Moloch. It's only the start of 2026, and the Lord is exposing more things, shining light on the darkness for the world to see, for the masses to wake up. Hallelujah. Candace Owens recently came out calling out different people who call themselves Jews, but in actuality are puppets for Lucifer. It's really getting real out here. Candace isn't holding anything back anymore. Check this out.
Those facts, and now we can really stick our noses down at them. And no, I want to be clear, this is not Judaism. This isn't your grandma's Judaism. It's occult mysticism. That's the way that it's able to move through seemingly all the faiths, right? Aleister Crowley. Well, how could you have the Star of David once upon a time? What was it? Before 1914, that was the flag of Morocco. That's weird. That's not a Jewish nation. What does it actually symbolize? Occult mysticism. That's why it's on the cover of Aleister Crowley's books. If you're going to perform magic and rituals. And yes, sorry guys, you got to wake up. It's a Monday. We got to get you there. They deem children to be a necessary part of their initiation rituals. This I'm going to read from you is actually a direct quotation from Sigmund Freud, okay? The person that was hailed as a hero. We were in high school and middle school, and he's the father of modern psychology. Yeah, guys, that's kind of the problem. That is kind of the problem, actually. Anyway, to contextualize this, he's writing a letter to his best friend, also the person he was having a gay affair with, who mentored him, Wilhelm Fliess. Now, I should skip to the part and tell you Wilhelm Fliess also molested his own son, Robert Fliess. Robert Fliess spoke about that when he got older. But Sigmund Freud is writing to Wilhelm Fliess after he gets initiated, because they wait until you're 36 to initiate you into the occult mystic Kabbalah. Okay, I'm going to read you what he writes. He's referring to a patient who he previously hadn't understood before his initiation, who came in, and she spoke to him about what she experienced when she was a child. He writes, imagine I obtained a scene, which means a patient was speaking to him about this, about the circumcision of a girl, the cutting of a piece of her labia, sucking up the blood, following which the child was given a piece of the skin to eat. He then fast forwards and he says, I dream, therefore, of a primeval devil religion whose rites are carried on secretly, and I understand the harsh therapy of the witches' judges. And then he speaks about this. Freud is implying here, by the way, this we are so anti-Semitism proof. This book was written by a guy who was the director of the Freud archives. He read Freud's unpublished works and determined that, yeah, Freud knew that the children were being abused in Vienna, and he created a social science, psychology, to help gaslight those children. This is what you got to be aware of. This is all real. It's not imagined. These are not kooky people on the internet that are telling you this. Quite the opposite. And then this guy, Jason Massone, who writes this book, writes that Freud is implying here that the Sabbats were real events, part of a ritualized religion in which sexual perversions were acted out. So he was aware that this was happening. And in case you are not aware, Sigmund Freud, the background story there is wild. All right, he was once an outcast in the very tight-knit, perverted psychology club in Vienna because he told the truth. He went to the morgue. He examined children who had died after they were horrifically murdered and sexually assaulted. And then he also saw patients who were children who were still alive, who were telling him these stories about what they lived through. And he had determined after speaking to these children that they were all telling the truth. And so he gets ostracized from the psychology community. He's like, no, this is actually happening, and it's also incestuous. And they go, get out of here. You can't be with us. You can't publish his paper. Oh no, what would the goyim think? He actually did publish his findings, and like I said, the pervert turned on him. Then, remarkably, at the age of 36, he partakes in a ritual during which he's welcomed into the club, and he changes his mind and he writes to Wilhelm Fliess that he now understands. Okay, so that's what I just read to you. Like he now understands what is happening. And that is why you need to wake up and recognize that this is what is happening in our world. And what he's referring to are ancient pagan festivals and ceremonies that center around the earth's cycles of death and rebirth. And so to make this extra clear to you, we are not in a war between monotheistic faiths. The people that we are fighting are effectively pagan gypsies who have been wearing the cloak of Judaism, I would say, since the fall.
She said the cloak of Judaism. She's saying that there's people in leadership that are pretending to be Jews. That is a shocking statement, and it sounds like revelation. We read, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. That just blows my mind, because not only is this happening in real time, but it's also biblical. Pay attention to the signs from the Lord.